Hey, hey. What up, y'all? Hey. Welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, a BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad, and this is Storytime. Cling, cling. Welcome, everyone. Hey. Hey. No, I see Cindy saying your back must be better. Indeed, unfortunately, it is not. I am still using a heating pad. Ironically, my back is so bad, I had to cancel my physical therapy session. So I had a physical therapy session. I'm just breaking down. I am breaking the hell down. I can chair dance very well. No problem with the chair dancing, but Jesus, it was so bad I called up. I was like, I can't make it to physical therapy because my physical is broken. Anyway, before we get into all of that, let us briefly cover what I like to call our stories of the day. Stories of the day. Tessica Brown's Gorilla Glue problem is gone. There's a massive pileup in Fort Worth, Texas, leaving drivers on thin ice. A George Costanza lookalike is told, "You need to leave," and he should have, but he didn't. House managers wrapped up the prosecution on day 3 of the impeachment trial, where 15 GOP senators felt they didn't have to show up. And last but not least, we have in our "you raggedy bitch," we have Tucker Carlson. Indeed. So I don't know if you guys noticed, I changed up the I changed up the scenery a little bit. The background is a little different. It's a little minor touches. I want to say hello to my 3 moderators, Tina G, the Trump Reaper, and Asmila J. I don't know if I saw you guys. There's Asmila J. I did definitely see the Trump Reaper and Tina G. So welcome to you guys. Thank you for keeping the chat respectable. Yeah. So yeah, the back is a problem, and I don't know what the hell is the problem. We had some light snow late last night. It was falling like Christmas snow. It wasn't like heavy hard flakes. It was gentle and sweet and la 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 la. But I am officially done with this snow. I hate it. So we're going to start the show off with a little bit of good news. But before we do, I want to get into that Gorilla Glue girl. But before we do, let's go ahead and start up with our roll call. Show me where you're coming from. Show me where you are at. Monique says she's with us, but she's making dinner. Gotcha. What's for dinner? I don't know what's for dinner. Patricia says they got an inch of snow. All right, get my son out there. Yep. He's doing it. It's more than just a one person gig. We got Patty Duke for life from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and Cindy C from Lakewood, Washington. Watcher Soko says she's had 2 back surgeries and still walks with a cane. I don't want to hear that. I'm not trying to have no back surgery. Kat from Michigan is here. Samantha from the Bronx. Cha Cha from Seattle. And Linda number 1 from Aiken, South Kakalaki is here. We got Bonita from Columbus, Georgia is in Heezy. When I make that sound, that means that my scroll has a life all its own. Nita from Columbus, Ohio. Happy hello from Allison in Raleigh, North Kakalaki. Lori in Mexico. Che Rosa from Bay Area, California. And your boy Ken is icy in Texas. We're going to talk about Texas too. They had a major pileup. Patty from Gainesville, Texas. We got another one in Texas. Sinsanity from Boxborough, Massachusetts. Chrissy from Connecticut is with us. And let's see, we got Punxsutawney Mo got 2 inches in the weather capital of the world. That's Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. It's the weather capital because we all look for Punxsutawney Phil to tell us whether or not we're going to see more weeks of winter. Julianne Gauthier from the Central Coast of California. She sends blue hearts, beat as one. Janet from CT is here. Peter is a boss from Colorado. And Colorado was represented today by Diana DeJet. She did her thing. Stella Baxter from NYC. Sarah in Texas. Natalie got 4 inches. Woo! You know, if my mind was in the gutter, and you guys are reporting Phil saying, Mo is saying, I got 2 inches. And Natalie's like, I got 4 inches. My mind, never mind. Marty from Calgary is here. And Karen Purdy from Newton Falls, Ohio. She is here too. Nurse Mitch is here from Glen Burnie, Maryland. Kathleen Boothwin from Pennsylvania. LL Mack from Neptune, New Jersey. Stacy from Northwest Indiana, Mike from Lynchburg, Virginia, and Stephanie from sunny Spring Hill, Florida. Deborah B. Oh, that's Wildflower from Woodstock, New York. There you go. Stan Crouch from Florida. Gina from New Jersey made some beef stew. Make sure you save some for all of us. Code Blue from that blue state, Maryland. Jamie from Oshkosh, Wisconsin is freezing in here. Whoa. Okay, we're scrolling back up again because this thing has a mind all of its own here. Okay, hold on. There we go. Watcher Soko is here in beautiful Orange County, California. Natalie B. from Long Island with the knee replacement, no cane. That's what I like to hear. Wojo Mom is here with Bella in Rochester, New York. And Kimini says, my 89-year-old father is going to change from Republican to Democrat. Here's a fun fact. 140,000 Republicans have left the party just in January alone. That's a fun fact indeed. Natalie B. from there we got Natalie. We got Paula Freitas from Madeira Island, Portugal. She is a regular now from all the way in Portugal. Thank you so much. Solid Blue Sister is here. Wilbur from Martinez, Georgia. Woo, woo. That's our dog lover buddy. And let's see who else we got here. The Linda L. from Aiken, South Kakalaki. Lucy from Orange County, California. Why my name at is always highlights in red, I don't know. Tina G. from Albuquerque, one of our illustrious moderators here, keeping things in check. Adrian from Columbus, Ohio. Pasta D. from Richmond Hill, Georgia. bragging about 72 degrees, damn you. Marie from North Jersey. We got Karen Kosi from Columbus, Ohio, and Chinese food for dinner. Samantha B from Northeast PA. Let's see. Misha Oliver is here. What up? Hey. Cindy from Alaska. Thread from Hellstarter here. And Christina from North Kakalaki just got our book with this swooshy signature. I love it so much. Mike White from Lynchburg, Virginia. Sony from Central California. Audrey U2 from Brooklyn, of course, says NYPD removed barriers from Trump Tower. What does that mean? Does that mean people can bum rush the place? Nobody wants to go to Trump Tower. Place is garbage. Sudi Q from Centennial, Colorado. And you know who I haven't seen here in a while? Scribble My Dibbles, my own sister. She must be crazy busy. I got to give her a call. Dana from South Jersey. Asmila J is here from super cold Houston, Texas on Monday. You know, when you guys from Texas were talking about the weather being freezing, I was like, these guys are exaggerating. They probably mean like it's 60 degrees, it's freezing. No, it's like cold enough for ice on the road. Kimini Sandra in Paramount, California. That's Sandra. And Linda T says, I'm the nice Linda in Aiken, South Kakalaki. You guys don't fight. You're both nice. You're both wonderful. Let's see. Sylvia again from Madeira Island, Portugal. And Kalahin Style says, my first time watching you live. If you're enjoying this, my friend, please do me a favor and drop a like, the thumbs up icon, and hit the subscribe button right there if you're watching on your desktop. Let's see. Kenna from Spokane Valley, Washington. Lisa Straw from Jupiter, Florida. Misha from Long Beach, California. Samantha's hubby is making spaghetti with meat sauce. Oh, you got my tummy going. In Long Beach, we cannot even get 1 inch of rain, says the Trump Reaper. And Natalie also got her book. That's great news. I love to hear it. Sheila says, looking like we're going to get hit with snow here again in Chicago. Shoveling is a biatch. Yes. Another fun fact. I had the word bitch in the title of my show yesterday, and YouTube was like, that's not nice. So I got to curb my language in the titles. Columbus, we got Kari Nkosi, Columbus, Ohio vet. Thank you for your service, my friend. Deb B from frigid Central Washington. Melissa McQueen from Seattle. Only light snow there. Let's see. It just scrolled by itself. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I got you. Shout out from the Kalahin Style says, shout out from the DC area. Okay. Valerie from Staten Island is here. Silent Blue Sister is taking it all in from Southern California. Lisa from North Kakalaki and loving the snow. Spoken like someone who has really only seen snow a handful of times and doesn't have to shovel. Let's see. I'm going backwards here because this thing is crazy. Okay. Oh, wait. We got Ms. Nick from the DMV. Okay, there we go. Mache from Vancouver, Washington, trying to snow there, she says. Sherry Berry says it's really cold in Brooklyn tonight. You know what? It dropped actually to 16 degrees today. 16! I have the icicles to prove it. And now it's at a nice balmy 32 right now. Wolven says, Plumas County resident here. Love the littlest president. Thank you. He loves you too. Let's see. Hey, Trust Brent. I have not seen Trust Brent in a minute. Welcome, my friend. Trust Brent is usually on my tweets out there in Twitter, in the Twitterscape. Lisa from North Kakalaki. Oh, yeah, she's loving the snow. Okay, so now I'm going back. Now I'm almost caught up. Is the Weed Whacker here? Cha-Cha wants to know. Let's find out, shall we? Because I haven't seen him yet. He's probably whacking the weeds. And Jamie wants to know, where's EG? Those of you who know, EG is Eponymous George. Lady Caramel is here. And Bob Forsythe. Hey! Bob Forsythe is here, folks. There he goes. Let's see. That's my scrolling music. SH says, hello, BDD from the UK. That's what's up. Hello. Hello. Jen Murphy says, thumbs up all the way. Tanya Lee says, don't forget me again, LOL. She's getting paranoid from Wales, UK. I gotcha. Michael Horn says, it's 6 below going to 15 below tonight. Where the hell is that? Good Lord. Mickey, that's Wojo Mom with Tina, Karen, Asmila, Lori, Shari, and... Oh, she's saying hi to everybody. Okay. Hi, everybody. And... Okay. I've hit my last scroll. I think I got everybody. I'm not 100% sure. If I have missed you, please to forgive this scroll thing. Like, oh, there's Luppy Girl from Portsmouth, Virginia, and Lisette from Miami, Florida. Oni Yuri says Japanese sushi and tempura for dinner there. Woo, nice. Ali G from SLC and Jasmine Lacey from Eagle River, Arkansas. That's nice. Okay. I like that we have a nice, diverse crowd here from all over the place. You guys are super duper awesome. Okay, so like I promised, we got Monique from the DMV, almost missed her, and Ivy Williams from Durham, North Kakalaki. We got a lot of Kakalakis here. Michael Horn from Minnesota. And who's late? Star Shoemate is late. Wow, I'm starting to see more and more of these names that I'm familiar with. There's Uncensored Femme. She says it's Scouts Pack meeting night, so she may duck out early. How dare you! Debbie says you missed us again, LOL. Debbie with Alexa and Blake from Boca Raton. Okay. And Blizzard Fingers from Parkland, Florida. There we go. And I got everybody. Thank you so much. All right. So, like I promised, we did the stories of the day. So we're going to start off with some little bit of good news. On my show about a week ago, I believe I covered Just Brand needed a break. He's been so upset. I'm glad you're back, my friend. And Bernadette, how can I skip you? My bad. I don't. You know, it's not my fault. It's the fault of the scrolling thing. But I got you, Bernadette. I got you. And also Gab Curse. Gab Curse from Orlando. All right. Hey, and there's Eponymous George. I didn't see him. All right. The gang's all here. Glad to have you guys. All right. So about a week ago, I covered this story about this woman. And actually, I didn't know her name at the time. Her name is Tessica Brown. Tessica Brown is AKA Gorilla Glue Girl. Elbow point, first elbow point of the show. And Tessica Brown's Gorilla Glue is gone. Yeah. So apparently she underwent a procedure. So just so you know, little backstory, if you missed it, she sprayed some stuff in her hair. It was Gorilla Glue adhesive, and it caused her hair to be stuck in place. There she is after the procedure she underwent. It was stuck like that for 6 weeks. Nothing she could do would remove the glue. This was a terrible experience for her, and everybody makes dumb mistakes every once in a while. She gets a mulligan. That's the doctor who saved her. His name is Dr. Michael Obeng. He's from Ghana, and he performed a procedure to remove the glue from her hair. All it took was a combination of medical grade adhesive remover, aloe vera, olive oil and acetone. Wow. Dude is a hero. He totally MacGyvered that shit. He MacGyvered it. It's like, what do you need? Okay, so give me some olive oil, give me some aloe vera, give me a pencil eraser, and he did his thing. And so that's a bit of good news. Here's a statement from Gorilla Glue. They say, we are aware of the situation. We are very sorry to hear about the unfortunate incident that Miss Brown experienced using our spray adhesive on her hair. This is a unique situation because this product is not indicated for use in or on hair as it is considered permanent. Our spray adhesive states in the warning label, do not swallow, do not get in eyes, on skin, or on clothing. I think that includes hair too. So we've all learned a difficult lesson. Don't spray glue in your hair. Don't do it. I know, there's a lot of pressure on women, as I understand it, to always, women are frequently judged on their looks, on their appearance, when it should not be that way. Guys like me, we get to go out, with our gut hanging out. I got a gut. I have a serious gut, and wifey loves me anyway, and that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, we can look as shitty as we want, and we are not judged on our appearance. We are judged, on the content of our character. Usually, sometimes, occasionally, but a lot more so than women. So that's that. Moving right along, as I alluded to in my intro and in the chat, in the comments here, Fort Worth, Texas had a major pileup. 100 cars. More than 100 cars, and unfortunately it resulted in 27 people dead. And I just learned a little while ago that there was another 26 car pileup in Austin, Texas as well. Excuse me. Folks, be careful out there on the road. It's no joke. And especially in Texas, you guys are not accustomed to driving in. Oh, black ice. There you go. Deb B says black ice. It's probably what it was, but it might not even been. It just, Texas, these guys have like temperatures that hit 100 degrees. You know what I mean? So they're not really accustomed to like snowy, icy weather. So, and I know the people like to hit that gas pedal. A lot of people have a lead foot. Go easy, like when you got cold conditions, when it's cold like that, slow it all the way the hell down. 25, 30 degrees. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. Just get there. So my thoughts and prayers go out to the families of those 7. At the last I heard, it was 7 people who died. I hope it was nobody that we know out here. So like I said, drive extra carefully. Just get there safe. It doesn't matter if you're late. Who gives a damn? We're in a pandemic now. Everybody's late. Yeah, seriously. And, I have plenty of experience myself driving in snowy, icy conditions. And, I've usually been able to drive just fine in those conditions, except for that one time. That one time I was like a brand new driver. I was driving from Brooklyn into New Jersey. So I was living in Brooklyn, working in New Jersey here's a fun fact. I was working at a place called Ridgewood News, and I was 19. I was a cub reporter for Ridgewood News, and I was driving over the ramp. There's a ramp that goes from the Brooklyn Bridge over to the FDR Drive, and that's a curvy ramp, and there was a lot of snow, pressed down snow. It wasn't like plowed. and I turned the wheel a little bit too much, and my car at the time, it was a 71 Volvo. Yo, that thing was doing donuts. I was spinning on this little narrow curvy bridge. I swear to God, I thought I was gonna die. My 19-year-old self was like, no. And I like slammed on the brakes in panic, and you never slam on the brakes. Never slam on the brakes when you are skidding. Turn your wheel in the direction of your skid. That's a fun fact. Excuse me. So naturally, I survived, and I learned, take it easy when it's snowy and icy. All right? All right? Okay. Enough said. Now, earlier today on Twitter, George Costanza was trending on Twitter, and it's never for the right reason. It was because there's a guy who looked like George Costanza who was kind of rude. There was a gentleman, a Mexican gentleman in the state of Michigan, and he was talking, his name is Adrian Arola, and he was talking about the racism that his 3 children have been subjected to. He was in a school board meeting and in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And then he was interrupted by the now infamous George Costanza lookalike, Tom Bertel. And this is what happened.
I went to his bedroom to say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
Then why didn't you stay in Mexico?
Why didn't you stay in Mexico, he says. All right. She said you need to leave. You need to hear that again.
Say goodnight, and he was crying because of the abuse that he was enduring in this school system.
Then why didn't you stay in Mexico?
Disgusting indeed. That woman, that little lady, she sound like a little old lady. You need to leave. That is my hero, because she had to be tiny, right? She had to be tiny, but she didn't get, she was all out of fucks to give. She was, you need to leave. That came out of her gut. I love that. Love that little woman. I'd like to know who the hell she is, and let's prop her up for standing up to racism. But that wasn't the end. That was, and yes, Stacy points out, glad everyone gasped. Yes, there was an audible gasp in that crowd when he said, why don't you stay in Mexico? That's, that's a typical Trumper. You don't even have to check his party affiliation. You know that guy was a Trumper, because that's their thing. If you don't like it, then if you don't love America, then leave it. Love it or America, love it or leave it, right? If you don't love it, then just storm the Capitol. Just bring your Confederate flag and storm that Capitol. Goddamn fake patriots. But anyway, that was not the end of that. What followed was worse. He should have just taken the L where she said, you need to leave. But no, he felt the need to clarify himself, and that shit did not help him. Check it out.
All the time. Try being white and walk in a black neighborhood. See what happens. So you're complaining about situations and like these this incident where somebody made a little tweet. Okay, nobody's hurt in that. That nobody got hurt in that. It was done off campus. So why does it even concern the school system? Everybody has the right to free speech. And
was that wrong? Should I have not have done that? Because that was the thing. He was caught in this expression like, what? What? There's George Costanza doing his, believe it or not, George isn't at home. Just leave a message at the beep. So there he is right there in the far right. And he makes this move like this with his hands, right? Like, what? We're not all racist in here? What? I thought we were all on the same page. Was that wrong? George Costanza voice. Was that wrong? Should I have not have done that? Oh my God. And so this dude's son, he has a son named Matthew, and Matthew was mortified. Martin, I like what you said there. Courage is rare in public settings. His son Matthew said this. He said, "It is of vital importance to call out racism whenever you see it. We can't stand idly by as children, as brothers and sisters, as friends, and as people interacting with each other in daily life when someone says or does anything racist. It's all of our responsibilities, and it shouldn't have to get to this." Perfect statement from this kid. You know, he's not like father, like son. You know, this kid somehow ended up learning the right things despite his bigoted father. You know, it's funny. I never get a chance to speak up and shout this stuff out like in real life. I do it all the time on Twitter, but that's different. You know, in real life, these things don't seem to happen around me where I get an opportunity to say, "Hey, racist motherfucker, shut your mouth. Just shut up." Excuse me. One of my oldest and dearest friends who passed away, his mother, who also passed away, Joanne, she used to tell me, and Joanne was white, right? And she's like, don't even waste energy if you are confronted with the racist. Just tell him to shut the fuck up. I love that woman. She was like a second mother to me. She did die of COVID this past summer. But yeah, and my mom used to say, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That is a quote that some of you guys have gotten. Hey, what's up, Victorina? I just see Victorina here from Pahrump, Nevada. She has joined the party. My mom used to say that, and some of you lucky folks have gotten that quote in your autographed copy of The Littlest President. And, you know, that's one of the things I put in the book. The other thing is, if you can conceive it and you can believe it, then you can achieve it. Yes. And Kimberly Moss says he should be embarrassed indeed. He should be embarrassed. And his son was embarrassed. He was mortified, but he made up for it with a really excellent quote to show, like, I'm not with this racist dad here. I'm not with him. So today was the impeachment day 3. And this is the day that the House managers pretty much wrapped up their argument, their case against the insider in chief, Donald Trump. And they had standout performances. Every day they have standout performances, personally. And I saw a little while ago, I saw Claire McCaskill she posted a tweet saying that she thought that the House managers were a little bit repetitive with their arguments today. And I disagree. I think repetition, they say, is the mother of education. And they're dealing with some hard-headed GOP senators who they need to see this not once, not twice, but thrice, and maybe more, just to get it in their heads how severe this trial is. This is the first time in American history where we have been attacked. We have been attacked by an insurrection led by the President of the United States. And so we had Diana DeJet from Colorado and Joe Neguse, also from Colorado. Colorado, you guys are churning out some fantastic representatives. Bravo. Bravo to you guys. You done good. And that I think that makes up a little bit for Lauren Boebert. Good Lord, what happened with that one? But Diana DeJet drew a direct line from the rioters to the insider in chief, and that was the goal for today's presentations. I'm going to show a clip right here.
And as one expert who focuses on domestic extremism, Jared Holt explained, by all measurable effects, this was a far-right extremist, one of the most successful attacks that they've ever launched. They're talking about this as the first stab in a greater revolution. And as indicated by Mr. Holt, their perceived success has given them encouragement to continue and to escalate attacks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as you can see, there's a picture of Jacob Chansley, the QAnon shaman, says he regrets that he was duped. He says the president ordered him to do it. And now, look, he was yelling and screaming before, but there's his mugshot. He doesn't look quite so happy, this jackass who went on a diet. This other one here, his name is Kevin Seafried. He's this Confederate idiot who walked around the Capitol. These are all of the people that have been arrested. It's over 200. Riley June Williams. Why the hell is she trying to look so spooky? That's not helping your case any, lady, if you're trying to say you were innocent. We know you weren't. There's John Sullivan. That's a fake left-wing provocateur. You ain't no friend of Aunt Tifa, that's for sure. She don't like your raggedy ass. This is Josiah Colt, who was hanging from the chamber. Now he's hanging out in prison. And Eric Gavalik Munchell, this zip tie guy, he's kind of tied up right now with legal problems. So the goal was to point out that Donald Trump, his rhetoric created the perfect opportunity for insurrection to happen. And they made a strong case going way back to before he was even in office, going back to the days when he was on the campaign trail. And they showed plenty of clips showing if anybody throws a tomato, just beat the crap out of them. Don't worry, I'll pay the legal fees for you. You know, a lot of that kind of violent rhetoric that he let his followers know he is okay with being violent against people who do not agree with us. He set the stage with his rhetoric. And again, you know, the whole thing about the words he used in that speech, he tried to say, people looked at my speech and they said it was perfectly appropriate. No, it wasn't, dude. The people who defend him say, well, the president said peaceful and calm. No, he said that shit once in the middle of 32 different utterances of fight like hell. And if you don't fight, you're weak. And you have to be strong. You know, he's been saying this. He was sending out emails in the months prior to and after Election Day, referring to, yes, Wilbur McCarthy points out, the Trump Army, specifically branding them as the Trump Army. I don't recall the House managers bringing up the whole Trump Army thing, but if they didn't, they sure as hell better clean that shit up, you know, when they get to make rebuttals or whatever. So this was the last day of their opening arguments. And now the defense gets to take the stage, and they were supposed to go 2 days, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. They decided they don't need all that time. They're just going to go tomorrow, just one day. That's it, just one day. My guess is that, you know, they don't really have much to go on. One of the proposed arguments that the defense is going to try to make is that this is a First Amendment case, and it is not. The First Amendment does not give you the right to incite violence. That's the same thing as yelling fire, falsely yelling fire in a crowded movie theater. You cannot do that. The First Amendment does not give you the right to do that. Because when you do that, yeah, you're exercising your right to speak, but it then infringes upon the rights of others to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, primarily. So yeah, they got 1 day of arguments, and my guess is there's what can they possibly say that will undo, that are going to make people forget the past 3 days of traumatic videos. And not just traumatic, but very, very powerful, very impactful. Every video, if it wasn't showing the violence, it was showing Donald Trump's damning words. It's basically his own words against him. Donald Trump really, he's one of the worst, stupidest criminals ever. He's left breadcrumbs and receipts of his vile behavior all scattered across the past 5 years, damning him to guilt. Now, a lot of people don't think, Sylvia says they haven't got a case. I believe you're talking about the Republicans. They don't have a case, and I guess the other reason why they're only going to use tomorrow is they don't feel like they need a case. Rand Paul slipped, I think it was David Schoen, slipped David Schoen a note yesterday. And I guess what Rand Paul's note was, don't worry, you got this. They could probably sit up there and do a juggling act and a stand-up comedy act for a while, and they'd be fine. They'd be fine. Because I think possibly the verdict is already cooked. I don't know. I don't know if we have 17 votes. Now, something interesting happened today. 15 GOP senators decided that they did not need to be present for this presentation, which, again, this is the height of irresponsibility, the height of disrespect. People died on January 6th. You don't feel like it's your duty to be there in this trial? You got your mind made up, so you don't need to hear anything else? What happened to, doing your duty? They all swore an oath to look at the evidence objectively. You missed an entire day of evidence. You missed an entire day. I would like to see the list of 15 GOP senators who missed this shit. And, half of the people, more than half of the people in the Senate are lawyers. And if those 15 GOPers are lawyers, they should be disbarred just for that alone. It's disgusting. Think First says their votes should not count. I tweeted that too. I think I replied to someone with that. Their votes absolutely should not count. And let's say if they can make that happen, then that creates an entirely different scenario. Then that means that they don't need 17 anymore, right? If you take 15 out, then all you need is a 2/3 vote to convict. Now it's a lower number. What is it? 10? 11? They might have 10. They might have 10 or 11 right now. As we speak, they might have 10 or 11. They might need 6 more. Could be wrong. I don't know. But anywho, let us move on. Wait, I got another video. I totally forgot. Excuse me. This was Michigan. Look at this jackass. Heil Hitler. It says, you policemen are all cowards. This is the Blue Lives Matter crowd. Hypocrisy.
As the video shows, these militant protesters showed up ready to take a violent stand. They came armed and tightly packed themselves into the building with no regard, of course, for social distancing. This Trump-inspired mob may indeed look familiar to you. Confederate battle flags, MAGA hats, weapons, camo army gear, just like the insurrectionists who showed up and invaded this chamber on January 6th. The siege of the Michigan State House was effectively a state-level dress rehearsal for the siege of the U.S. Capitol that Trump incited on January 6th. It was a preview of the coming insurrection.
Yeah, a dress rehearsal. Make no mistake about it. Yes, this was after, Cindy points out, this was after the Liberate Michigan tweet. Absolutely. Yeah. In all caps, he tweeted, Liberate Michigan. And within days after that tweet, they all stormed the Capitol. That's what we were actually concerned about, that on January 6th, we thought, was it? No. We were concerned that on January 20th, on Joe Biden's inauguration, that the other 50 of the other state capitals were going to be assaulted. They were not. But I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that again, because if Donald Trump is not held accountable for that, Samantha Hawkins is saying March 4th. Is March 4th the next day of insanity? You know, if it is, I certainly do hope that the authorities are well aware of this and then they can plan ahead. You know, but all of the behavior of Trump over the past year, you know, he refused to criticize those people who stormed the Michigan Capitol. He refused. He also refused to criticize or condemn the Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. What the fuck is that? That's not a repudiation. That's an order. That's an order to just chill. At ease, you know. He's talking to his militant white terrorists, telling them, wait for further instructions. So you'd have to be blind to have sat through 3 days of this trial and not already formed a rock solid conclusion that Donald Trump was not only responsible for this insurrection, he was responsible for failing to stop it. He let that shit go on and on and on. The National Guard was not even allowed to be deployed as early as it should have been. There was intervention there, stopping it. He was the only person who could have quelled that violence, and he let it rage on. So, if these senators vote to acquit, we gotta throw them the hell out of office. We gotta throw them the hell out. 2022 is the next date, significant date. Now, let's jump right ahead to one of my favorite segments of the show, You Raggedy Bitch. And today's You Raggedy Bitch is none other than Tucker Carlson. This is from his show last night.
So what does all of this mean exactly? We're not sure what it means, and we're not going to speculate. We do know for certain that the known facts of what happened on January 6th deviate in very important ways from the story they are now telling us, including the story they told us today in the impeachment hearings. And in many places, the known facts bear no resemblance to the story they're telling. They're just flat out lying. There's no question about that. The question is, why would they lie about this? For an answer, think back to last spring. Beginning on Memorial Day, BLM and their sponsors in corporate America completely changed this country. They changed this country more in 5 months than it had changed in the previous 50 years. How'd they do that? They used the sad death of a man called George Floyd to upend our society. Months later, we learned that the story they told us about George Floyd's death was an utter lie. There was no physical evidence that George Floyd was murdered by a cop. The autopsy showed that George Floyd almost certainly died of a drug overdose, fentanyl. But by that point, facts didn't matter. It was too late. Cities had been destroyed, along with the fabric of this country itself. Scores of people had been killed. Democratic partisans used a carefully concocted myth, a lie, to bum rush America into overturning the old order and handing them much more power. It worked flawlessly. So why wouldn't they do it again?
How on earth does Tucker Carlson still have a show? It boggles the mind, the lies that this guy tells with a straight face. Although, usually he's looking into the camera, looks confused. Do I not wear a bow tie anymore because it makes my head look too big? Some people would suggest that my head is the right size. But who knows? It could be a conspiracy caused by the people on the left. This guy's head is stuck so far up his ass. It is amazing that he hasn't suffocated yet. And the problem is, guys like Tucker Carlson have spun lies that helped to create January 6th. It helped to create that frenzy. And he does it in a way that he doesn't seem like he's frothing at the mouth, so he's very calm when he questions these things and makes you think that he really has an idea of what the truth is. Or maybe he doesn't. Let's go back to the time when there was a thumb drive, and this thumb drive mysteriously disappeared. We didn't bother to check to see what was on the thumb drive. We didn't bother to print it and send it in an envelope, which would have been safe. This jackass. Over the years, he's lost plenty of sponsors for his show. His show has got to be on life support now, because after January 6th, not only is he still helping to spread the lies, but he is also, now he's questioning the death of George Floyd. Dude, the entire planet watched George Floyd had a cop kneeling on his neck for almost 9 minutes. Halfway through that 9 minutes, I don't think there was any amount of drugs that could have been in his system that would have killed him faster than a knee from a 230-pound cop kneeling on his neck. Are you stupid? It's a rhetorical question. Of course you're stupid. Look at that expression on your face. You can't even fathom how Fox allows you to still be on TV. This kind of sensationalist journalism has to come to an end. It has to. Someone has to be accountable to it, because these voices reach millions and millions of people. Millions. You don't realize the impact that it has on society when people only watch one channel and they only have access to one set of facts that are skewed away from the truth. skewed to manipulate a group of people to keep watching you, to keep hating the other side, to keep questioning whether or not we should be wearing masks. Come on. I really hope the Biden administration gets into this, maybe, you know, appoints a new head of the FCC. What's that thing? The fairness rule. They need to reactivate that fairness rule, or is it the fairness doctrine? I forget what the hell it is, but it's something like the fairness doctrine, where media organizations will be held responsible for the content that they put out there. And they should be. They absolutely should be. You know, with great power comes great responsibility. I have a small, relatively small platform on Twitter. When I say relatively small, I mean, yeah, I know how many people follow me, but relatively speaking, I'm not reaching as many people as Fox News or CNN or MSNBC. I'm reaching a really small segment of the population. But even still, I like to verify the facts before I spread them. Fairness and broadcasting doctrine. Thank you, Jamie from Wisconsin. Thank you, Deb B. and Linda Taylor. Thank you guys for that. And Samantha Hawkins. Thank you so much. There's got to be some accountability. I check my shit, and, you know, I'm only reaching a fraction of people. Everybody should check their information. And come on, enough people have died. 470,000 people in America have died from COVID-19, but primarily they have died from misinformation, and enough is enough. All right, so now, with that said, I'm going to change the lighting in here because it is now time for the... Wait a minute. Excuse me. Let me change my scene here. The littlest president. The littlest president is available on BrooklynDadDefiant.com. It's all like it says here in the scrolling thing. In this scroller, it's also available on Amazon.com. You don't need a scroller for the Amazon.com. But if you want an autograph, stay away from Amazon.com. Go right ahead and visit BrooklynDadDefiant.com. As the Trump Reaper says, buy the Victory autographed version, which has a very beautiful swooshy that everybody loves so much. It's so beautiful. And then in the blue ink, it says, Hui Juan. Hui Juan. Hui Juan. Yes, we did. And we didn't just win. We won kind of big, actually. We got the cake. We got the frosting. We got the cherry on top. We got all that stuff. The Littlest President is starring. Right? Right? Yeah, there we go. Right there. President Barack Obama. Hillary Rodham Clinton. Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Joseph R. Biden. And the R stands for ready to kick that ass. Whew. Ladder bear pooping, holding the puppet strings on Spanky McDumbass. Complicit Barbie. Rudy Giuliani. Gummy McJuicebox. Kellyanne Conjob. Stephen the Snake Miller. And Mitch McTurtle McConnell. And let's see, what page should we start off with? Oh, I know. Perhaps our favorite page, Yes? Excuse me. Because I gotta figure out a better way to do this. This is Spanky McDumbass. Spanky McDumbass is sad. He used to be rich. He used to be a businessman. He used to be a TV star. He used to have a Twitter account. He used to be the littlest president. But now Spanky McDumbass is in jail. How did he get here? Let's go back. You know, I don't think I saw Sherry Scary today. Is Sherry Scary in the house? What's up with Sherry Scary? What happened to her? That's what I want to know. All right. Let me know when you guys find out, please. I would like to know. Is she here? Sherry Scary? Where you at, Sherry Scary? Cindy says she's hearing an odd echo. You guys hearing an echo? Echo. Okay. Tina G says, no, she isn't here today. All right. So where we left off yesterday, we were discussing the impeachment. And since history is repeating itself, I'm going to jump right over to the very next page after the impeachment. No echo. Thank you. After it says, justice-loving Americans were furious. Democrats were so angry at the fake trial, they quickly fell in line behind one presidential contender, candidate Somebody Blue. This candidate wasn't everyone's first choice. Many people wanted someone else. Some people wanted to vote for anyone else. They knew that if Spanky won, he'd just keep on breaking the law and not being held accountable for it. So the only thing folks could agree upon was that Somebody Blue was the only person who could defeat Spanky. Even Republicans and independents agreed on this. Spanky was in big trouble. So those of you who already are fortunate enough to have a copy of this book, you see that Brooklyn Dad and Wifey are right there in the front row of his own book. What do you know about that? And as I mentioned before, the candidate Blue character is intentionally drawn so that you can't tell whether it is a man or woman, and it's got a question mark because nobody knew yet that it was going to be Joseph R. Biden. Nobody knew. No, nobody knew. We thought at that time when I was writing this, Joe's campaign was running on fumes. It was running on fumes. I actually thought this was going to be Bernie. 100% thought I was preparing myself to back Bernie Sanders. It wouldn't have bothered me for 1 second. I think Bernie's a decent guy. He wasn't my first choice, but I would have done it regardless. I would have thrown my full-throated support behind him. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so questions? Anybody with the questions? I see some folks. Oh, before I forget, before we get into the questions, please remember to hit the subscribe and the like icon there, the thumbs up thing. And Martin points out the book is just packed with Easter eggs. Yes, it is indeed. Yes, thank you. Okay. Star Shoemate says, back blue no matter who. Let me just say one quick thing about that page, right? How does it apply to us now? Okay. Well, we are right now at that juncture, at that point where this impeachment trial is about to be over. Possibly it could be as over as early. They might vote on this by Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. Don't know. But if the defense is only taking one day, if they're only taking Friday, they might, go jump back to the prosecution on Saturday and Sunday. And who knows if they could be voting on this by Monday or Tuesday. Don't quote me on that. And what's going to happen right now? The needle seems to be leaning away from conviction and towards acquittal. That happens. Well, you saw what happened in the book here. Democrats were incensed, were furious that he eluded justice. Now, our fury can be directed constructively towards those senators, those GOP senators who lost their spines, who did not do their duty to protect us against enemies, foreign and domestic. How can you be reelected if you can't even stand up for your own damn country? We use that and we kick them the hell out of the Senate in 2022. Those who are vulnerable. Let's see. Lexi wants to know what happened to Rudy Snotilani. I think he's in hiding. Yeah. Who knows? I haven't seen him in a minute. Lee Saunders says, I like Bernie, but I don't think he'd have gotten 81 million votes. I think you might be right. Bernie might have been a little bit too far left for some of the people in the middle who were like, well, I hate Trump, but, so you might be right. Kenna Wilkins says, we'll really be winners when we get Spanky in prison where he belongs. Amen to that. Lisa Hathaway says, when are you going to bring the kitty cats on the show? Well, it's not going to be too much longer now. The kitty cats have been downstairs and they are so anxious to come upstairs. They're in the basement. Every time we let Rainey out in the back to make pee, them cats is at the bottom of the steps. And, we just want to make sure that when they meet, that it's not a woo. And, Rainey is about as gentle a dog as I've ever known. But I don't know. I can't guarantee that if a cat scratches her, that she won't try to bite its head off. I can't guarantee that. I don't know. So, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we'll be introducing you guys to them kittens. And Watcher Soko says, how are the kittens? Yeah, they're doing great. Their stool is solid. Their bellies are fed. And they are happy. Yes. Kathleen Cross says Kamala was her first choice. She wasn't my first choice, but she was up there. And unfortunately, she had to jump out of the race because she didn't raise enough money. Jasmine Lacey is loving her book. Love to hear it. And Gina Potter wants to know, what time are you starting exactly? This is an interesting question. So those of you who are familiar with my Periscope broadcast, I was reliably starting around 5:35, 5:40 every day. Now I've got, as you can see, a little bit of an extra element to this show. And I'm trying to bring it back to that time, but right now it's about 5:45, 5:50. And I hope you guys are getting notifications. If not, I know in YouTube there's a little bell icon next to the subscribe button. If you've already subscribed to my show, and you hit that little bell icon that's next to the subscribe button, you will see that you'll get a notification whenever I post something. Like I posted a poll last night. I don't know if you guys saw the poll. I was asking which witnesses should be called in the trial. They're not going to call any witnesses, so the point is moot. But I was curious. Anywho, let's see. Last one here from Cindy by 45. I came in late, so you may have discussed this, but who the hell were these 15 senators who didn't show up, and how can they be permitted to vote? It's fairly obvious they didn't show out of fear of COVID. Yeah, I don't know yet. I want to get down to the bottom. I need to know who those 15 senators are. All right, folks. So if you have to go out, please be sure to wear your masks. Plural. 2. It's 2 now. Wear your gloves. Keep your social distance. 6 feet or better. And have a lovely, relaxing evening. I'll be here tomorrow, same time-ish. So for now, is a better answer to your question, Gina. I would say 5:45-ish. That's when my show is starting. All right. I love you guys. Have a great evening. Peace.